Hey foster friends, this is Jill with A Foster Life, and this is my very first live video that I've ever done. So I'm hoping some of you will start checking in here pretty soon. But I want to talk today about the topic of the first 2 weeks of having a new placement. I want to talk a little bit about kind of what that looks like, what it definitely feels like, and some of the things that you might experience during that time. I was recently teaching some foster courses, finishing up with one of our cohorts. For those who are not aware, I am a foster mother. I've been a foster mom for quite a while, and then I also work part-time for National Youth Advocate Program, and we are an agency in Indiana. I'm actually all over the Midwest, but I'm specifically in the northern Indiana region. So we were teaching a class, and at the very end of the class, we had some Q&A time, and a couple of the participants said, okay, so we've learned all of this great stuff, but what should we expect? I mean, we don't even know what to expect as far as when a placement comes. And so what do we, what's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? And so I will tell you that I've been a foster mom for about 9 years now. I was a foster mom when I was single, and then I was a foster mother I've been a foster mother with my husband. We've been foster parents for quite a while now. So I will tell you that it doesn't matter how long you foster, you still kind of go through some of the same cycles when it comes to your placements. So if you're a newbie, or if you're considering fostering, or maybe you're a veteran, I guarantee you've been through some of these emotions. So I will tell you that the first day when you find out your kiddos are coming, it's very exciting. Always. It's always exciting because it's new, it's a change. And no doubt that when the kids come to you, sometimes they're petrified, sometimes they're relieved, depending on their age. We've had teenagers who've been relieved, actually. But for the most part, there's just this fear of the unknown. And so when your kiddos show up, it's very exciting. You're kind of running on adrenaline the first couple of days. And so you're going to find that you're working very hard to teach them new things, show them where everything is in the house, get them acclimated. You don't really see a ton of behaviors usually the first few days out of the kids. But you will find that you are exhausted. You are working so daggone hard. And that again, you're running on adrenaline. And so probably around day 3, you are exhausted, like so exhausted that you just feel like you're going to crash, and you start to get a little cranky, and the newness is starting to wear off. And I will tell you that by day 4 or day 5, the regret kicks in. And it doesn't matter. It does not matter how much you love the kids, how much you like the kids. Day 4 or 5, there's this bit of regret, and you're thinking, why have I done this? What have I gotten myself into? And that, guys, it's just human nature. You don't need to make that phone call and tell them to come pick up the kids. You need to hold tight, hang with it, and keep going. Then it turns into probably a day or 2 of depression, and where you just feel really low, and it's because you've had this enormous life change. And not only that, but you're hearing these stories from these little people, and you're so sad about what they've been through, and it really gets to you. And you find that your depression kind of turns into anger a little bit, and you might be a little testy. I'll tell you, we went camping with family this weekend. I was a grump. I was an absolute grump, and I was in that day 7, 8 period, and I should have known. You know, I was a little too grumpy, kind of snapping a little bit. I don't like being like that, but I was. And then by about day 10, everything starts to calm down a little bit. You start to feel more normal. The kids have been there for a week and a half. Kind of hitting the 2-week mark is when you start to get past some of those cycles of having a first placement. And so I'm not even talking about with the kids, guys. This is just you as a human being and as a person, and that you're normal. And so if you find that you're in this place, and I've had other friends say, you know what, I cried for 2 straight weeks. I had that regret feeling for 2 straight weeks before I started to feel better, and that's okay. You're a human being. So I will tell you this, you're going to be busy. The first couple weeks, they are rough. You're going to be so stinking busy. You're going to be running your kids to all kinds of appointments. You're dealing with your own stuff, your own human feelings that are completely normal. And so when you hit that 2 to 4 week period, life starts to kind of even out a little bit, even though you're really busy. The kids are really starting to get used to your home. You're getting used to having them there. And by the 1 month mark, it's hard to remember life without them. So I want to encourage you today that when you are going through these cycles, I want you to hang on. Get on some get on some foster forums, talk it out with some other people, but you are completely normal. You're going to go through angry phases. You're going to go through sad phases. Bear through it. Barrel right on through it. You can do it, and stick with it, because when you hit that 1 month mark, you're going to be really glad that you hung on, and life is going to be golden. You're going to start evening out. That's the time when you want to start taking your kids on trips. Don't do what I did and take your kids on trips on day like 8, okay? That's rough. That's rough on you because you barely know these kiddos, but we already had these plans, and so I wanted to stick with it. And we had a good time. We did have a good time. I was just really grumpy and hot and tired and gross, and it was just a lot of work. So when we went camping, that is. So anyway, plan to stick around home for that month. Not that you can't go on little excursions, maybe day trips, but spend that time really getting to know your kids, and make sure that you're really just taking care of yourself. Get a sitter, plan a night to go out with your spouse or your significant other, or to go out with your girlfriends or your guy friends. Get out, do something for yourself as well, and just remember you're human, and you're going to go through all of these crazy emotions, and it's going to be okay. Stick with it. Have a good day, guys.